Welcome back to our JWE3 Smithsonian Zoo Park build. So, we are going to work on the Asian Trail today. So I've gotten a few pieces started for us before we continue our work. So, first off, the bridge has to be moved slightly. It should be more over like this direction, so I pulled it out of here entirely to get the basic layout of the trail, which is essentially this like bamboo, like this like forested trail with like bamboo and just trees covering it all, very shady, that slowly slopes downward as you go through the park. It's kind of like this very snaky trail. Comes right off in front of the visitor center, then takes a hard curve and kind of comes over here to like the sloth bear exhibit. Then it kind of does this little S-shaped curve, goes past like some otters, which we aren't going to include in the park, clouded leopards, which we will include, before it comes over by the giant panda area, which will be here. And then the panda area has an associated panda cafe, which we're going to build out of this workshop overlook cafe. We're going to use this as our basis for the panda cafe. It hasn't been modified yet. I've merely put in the starting building and some paths around it to make this kind of work. This is kind of an abstraction a little bit of how this all comes together in the actual park, but we're not trying to do a one-to-one because that would be vastly beyond my capability. So, yeah, we'll get the bears in first. So for these guys, I think we're gonna try out Austroraptor. I think these aquatically themed raptors feel somewhat bear-like to me. I think it's the best fit. So we'll do that. So to that end, so we were digging up, I think, Asian stegosaurs, maybe not yet. Maybe we did the research, or maybe that's Chung there. Well, anyway. We will be using those guys as well. But I want to get in the rest of the trail before I put in the pandas, I think, at this point. At least that's how I feel today. So, oh yeah, shit. I turned off research to get the thing in because it required a large hotel that we don't have access to even put down the blueprint to steal the part of it I wanted. So I had to do this. So research on, apply, okay. And now we can do... Actually, the research upside of building in sandbox without having custom challenge mode is we can at least cheat when we do have a blueprint that's got some object in it that we can't use yet. So yeah, we're looking for the Austro, which is going to be here, 12. I have 6 and 2 training points. 9, 10. Wait. Am I 10? No, I have 10. I can count. What the fuck happened to me there? Holy shit. I was so confused over nothing. I don't know what was going on in my brain. Stop moving when I click on you, please. Thank you. Alright. Biscivores. Oh, and I guess I should demo the exhibit. We have... So the sloth bears have kind of this small rocky exhibit with like these sort of like, you know, decayed trees that they can like climb on. And there's a little waterfall in the back and a lot of rock. This is a decoration I grabbed off the workshop. These like platforms aren't really accurate to the exhibit, but they capture the vibe of the exhibit of having these like conceptually climbable trees. So I've decided that it works. It also gives me these nice rocks to like plug into the cliffside here. And like to frame the waterfall. I think I like it. I like the way it looks. So even though it's not one-to-one with the real exhibit, we're going to use this rather than try to build my own thing. I also had to shift this slightly around the corner from where it probably should be just because of scale issues. You know, our exhibits have minimum viable sizes since we're playing with comfort on. So it should probably be more like right here, but then we'd start to infringe on the road. It would probably still be too small. So just shifting it a little bit around the bend makes it so it works better. And yeah, we've got some the bamboo forest brush has been used to like color in the trail here, but we'll probably want to put down some more like bamboo because it's actually pretty sparse when you look at it. I think we do have bamboo, right? Yeah, we've got a few different. Yeah, so we just do like a bunch of like this and like frame the trail. And that should do a pretty good job of capturing like the vibe, I think. Something like that. use a few of the different pieces to like mix it up a little bit more. But yeah, that'll be pretty cool, I think, when it's done. If it gets done, I guess. Because it might be tedious. Alright, getting started on the Ostros. Yeah, I have to do you if I want to do that on anybody. Which means I can't do power while that's happening. I could grab somebody else, but I'm not sure it's worth it. Probably not. Could knock out Aviary. That is off of the Asia Trail, so that is something we could do. Maybe not. We won't do it this episode anytime, but it's something that could come up relatively soon, as in like next episode, next week or something. So maybe it's worth knocking out here for lack of any other ideas. Alright, good haul of Ostro to start with. 72% and a perfect set of fossils. You know, the appropriate thing with Ostro... Oh, here's a problem. So there's two species of bears in this park. There's Andean bears and there's the sloth bears. Ostroraptor is from South America. It should probably be the Andean bears because they're from the same continent. And then Pyroraptor is from Eurasia. So if I did Pyroraptors, the sloth bears, it would make sense. But then we need deep water in this exhibit, which maybe I can make it work. I don't know how much deep water Pyroraptors need. Maybe we should just do both and try the Pyros first. And if I give up on the continent theming of the exhibits, then yeah, maybe that's a concession I just have to make. I don't know. I'm gonna think about that. I think I'm gonna try the Pyros. Alright. Here's the rest of the Ostroraptor. Let's process this and let's immediately go do Pyroraptor. I'm gonna try Pyroraptor first, but I'm gonna save, and if the Pyroraptor doesn't work in the enclosure, I'm just gonna reload and switch to Ostro, I think. It's Pyroraptor's also not a piscivore, so it's not on that research tab, so I actually gotta get it unlocked separately. And it instead lives... Wait. Here. Of course, Pyroraptor's on the Dimetrodon tab, obviously. They're very similar animals, totally. That makes sense. Sure. Alright, it's been pointed out to me that both Pyroraptor and Dimetrodon are the two animals that swim but don't eat fish, so it kind of actually makes sense that they're together. So, Snark rescinded. Let's start digging it up. Pyroraptor fossils. With his weirdly unique icon, which is probably a holdover from JWE2, right? I don't think anything else really uses that icon. Maybe a few other animals from like the Biosyn DLC or something, or the Malta DLC. Alright, this should be the rest of it, presumably. 19 and 81, huge. Alright. Great. Well, that is happening. I could do Troodon, which is another research, I guess. Every animal we want is just split up. Well, we should have this one done, technically, because we unlocked Herrera before. But it was before when we had modded research, so I guess it's just reset. Or not, it's probably not reset. There's probably one that stayed unlocked, which was, well, maybe, it may have reset altogether, because there's there's less nodes now, because I added new nodes altogether. I'm sure if it had the same name, it stayed unlocked, but if it didn't, it probably changed. Alright, so 30 seconds on that. I'm still trying to get this sorted out, but this is kind of what we need to do. Like, the bridge should be, like, right here. And there should be kind of a plaza that connects to this path going down, and the panda, this path going past the panda exhibit. But it's going to be an utter bollock, I think, to get it in there correctly, or even, like, decently. For now, let's worry about the pyros. So we're looking for 2 pyroraptors, which are our sloth bears. So I'm thinking Svalbard. Did I want Poppy? They just won't shut the fuck up. Alright, he's got his very fancy hairdo. Now, if we do a pattern, we can get some, like, color around the eye, which is pretty good for, like, a sloth bear, right? No. No, the Andean bears are the ones that should have color around the eye. These guys just have kind of a blank face. So we do blanks on these. Mixing my bears up. Alright. So yeah, I think just this. This is pretty bear-like as far as anything goes. Crank the humble and social, and that's all we care about. We do have males unlocked, right? Because we reverted this back to normal? Yes. Alright. I like this. With this custom building wrapped around the viewing gallery, it actually looks like people are going in and out of the doorways because the actual part of the gallery they phase into is inside the shadow. So it actually feels like they're entering the building instead of just, you know, entering the fucking shadow zone. Which I feel like should be a thing that the game does better. Okay, we're looking for 2 of these. Fit, humble, social, nocturnal, humble, social, fit, humble, social. So we got 1 nocturnal, so I'm going to say no on the nocturnal. If we had 2 nocturnals, I would look up if sloth bears are nocturnal, which would maybe make sense. Then no matter what we have intolerant, which doesn't really matter. But I could also go with, like, the fit ones. Just a fit pair of sloth bears. That's kind of ironic. I like that. Alright. Female, male. I forgot to save. I didn't do my save scum save. Oh well. Whatever. It'll work. It'll fit. It'll be fine. I can make them work overtime. No. I like that there's no downside for not making them work overtime. There's no, like, you need this thing now, and since you decide not to rush it, you're getting a penalty. Like, nope. It's just fine. Nothing happens. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to make this work. This is awful. Alright. The moral dilemma has appeared. Do we sell our dinosaur to a restaurant? I like that the icon is the meat feeder. Like, the people are just going to chop the dino up into, like, steaks and eat it off the ground on a platform. That would be very funny. No, I'm not doing that. That's insane. You're crazy. Can I actually... Yeah. So I can shrink this all the way down here. Cool. Okay, but that's not actually why we're here. The pyros are done cooking. So... Yeah, our Thanksgiving turkeys. Let's put one... Okay, let's put them, like, right here. And then I can try to add the deep water off to the side and make that work. That is a... Thank you for the YouTube subscription.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Adideo.
to welcome you to the
Alerts are working. Now. I don't know why. I didn't do anything. They just started working again. That must be a storm coming in, maybe? Or, oh, maybe this just plain broke down because I don't have maintenance down here. Oops. Maintenance, get on it. Wait, is this not actually in range? That feels like that should have been in range. Maybe it's just barely not. I don't know. Whatever. It's all a work in progress down there. It's not terribly important. Okay, Pyroraptors, they're in. Alright, so we have that much deep water. I think we can make that work. I did put a fish feeder in here because this is going to be Ostros, so I need to actually get them a goat feeder. Can I sneak it in here? Saw it for a second. Okay. Goats. Okay. I have enough cover. Interesting that the territory expands up the waterfall. That is questionable. I feel like that waterfall's not traversable, but what do I know? Maybe I've been missing out on a really interesting experience of walking up a waterfall. That is enough deep water. That is all we need. Okay. Sure. I hate the fact that my thing is, like, flying in the air now, though. Can I try and get it this way? Okay. Compromises, maybe. Okay, we need more pasture. I don't really have anywhere I can actually put more pasture. But they do have this corner that maybe if they get over there, they'll be happy. So maybe we can leave them alone for a second. And maybe it'll be fine. It's close. So maybe just a little expansion I can make this work. Okay, so let's try and do a little fix here. Edit this group. Grab specifically this log. And then just shrink it down deeper into the water. And maybe it's fine. Sure. Is this rock floating? Nah, that rock is fine. It's all fine. This ain't. This is all kind of floating. And what? Okay, wait a second. This is normal water and I could put the camera under it? Is this true? Is this intended? Or is this a bug because at one point it was deep water? I don't know why this bothers me, but I have to fix the trees. Wait, that one's already good. It's this tree that was weird. Okay. Oh, this one's inside the rock, so that one's fine. It looks good to me. Sure. Okay. Cool. Okay. Now, 98%. It almost works. We're this close. Do we think adding 2 babies is going to cause any substantial disruption to deep water? It may not. The other question would be, do we have a better terrain paint for the pasture? Because it's just kind of open, whatever grassland. It's not very interesting. Taiga shrubland, brushland. Okay, I should have my dino up when I'm doing this. Okay, so this does still count. Actually counts better because part of this is not technically pasture. Fair enough. Okay. Alright, that works for me. Sure. It does actually, it gives it a more arid look, which blends well with the rock, I would say. So I think that's actually preferable anyway as a texture for this exhibit.
Simply touch the area of the screen displayed.
Yeah. Okay, let's get them to breed. We need 2 babies. So, these are medium nest. So we'll just slap down a medium over here somewhere. Okay, I don't know why. Oh, there's a goat. I was going to say, I don't know why it's so fiddly putting it in the middle exactly, but that is because, yeah, there's a goat blocking it, running for his life. Understand. All right.
Can't see one of these eggs and not get excited about
Reese.
the animal inside. Pure
The second...
potential. Amazing.
Thank you. The second I go to the recording. Okay, 2 perfect. 2 babies is exactly what we're looking for. Okay, so from the workshop, I have downloaded a big tree, which is actually kind of clever. Let's take a quick look at this. The way this works is each of the branches is one of the actual trees from the game. Very clever way to do it. And then this base trunk section is other trees upside down. And this allows us to, actually, one other thing. Let's look at the blueprint. This is tree. This is the ballet tree. So that's what you are looking for on the workshop if you want to find this big tree for yourself. And this allows us to create this kind of bamboo tunnel for the start of the Asian trail, which is pretty accurate to how it should be, basically. So very thick stands of bamboo as you come along here and make your way over to the first exhibit of the trail, which is the sloth bears. There's the UI, ruining the vibe. Let's just turn that off. Solid. I'm happy with it, you know? It's not perfect, but it'll do. Alright, 2 minutes on the eggs. Great. And while that is happening, I should do something else. But what? Power? We should do power. We should probably take care of the power situation finally. Because we've just been tossing backup generators all over the place, and they're pretty intrusive. Now, there's not like power lines snaking through the park. Probably. So I should maybe do repeaters or whatever they are that we literally never use. Like, ever. 2 operational small power. Sure, I can do that. So yeah, maybe we tunnel all the way to large power and repeaters, and we just go straight repeaters. Might not be bad. And we could also start digging up the Troodon. Okay, literally 1 logistics requirement. Bribe customs. Stay with the fossils and comfort them in their time of need, or delay the expedition. I will bribe customs. That's not what you should do in my zoo. What is going on here, guys? I don't know what's going to happen when I unpause the game, but that's a pretty it's a pretty funny shot right there. Hold on. I gotta get a shot of this. Just to have memories, you know? Alright. Crazy. Just popping a wheelie, I guess. Probably got hit by the raptor and like the physics engine like bounced it up. And we just happened to like be paused exactly when it had just hit the Jeep and like pushed it backwards and upwards. The terrain here is slightly like rippled, so the Jeep also reacts very weirdly to it. Anyway, yeah, our 2 Power Raptors are Molly and Nico. There's actually 2 males in this exhibit. There should be 3 Power Raptors. I had 2 written down in my notes, but I went back to the webpage and there's 3 listed, so I don't know where my stuff came from. So there'll be 5 total once these little scamps hatch. So yeah, I guess we can jump on over to the hatchery real quick and cook up 1 more. They'll have to expand, which is going to be a whole thing, but we'll figure that out after we get the babies settled in. Actually, what's their territory look like? Okay, so they have this entire ridge. So, like, I could exploit that. I could maybe try putting deep water up here, which would, like, technically work. Maybe. As long as I don't mess up my waterfall. No, the waterfall! Actually, it's just kind of bigger. That's fine. I accept this. It's an acceptable waterfall change. I don't like this so much, but at least it's not, like, up at the front. Movement! We didn't miss the babies coming out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Pyroraptor to
Yep, that's the raptor rig, all right. He chases his tail immediately. Not a bad looking baby. The harshness of the adult features are like resolved by it being kind of the same raptor rig as the other stuff, but it doesn't like proportionally. It still looks like the adults, and it's still kind of got like the webbed feet thing going on, so seems fine. These guys, I think, should have names. Let me check. The names of the cubs are Osborne and Champa. Do we happen to have gotten... they're both females. Well, that's fine. Pretend this one is a male. Osborne and Champa, who I assume is obviously named after the god from Dragon Ball Super, and definitely not named after the Sanskrit word for a fragrant flower, like the article says. That's just them covering. They didn't want people to know the zoo's actually a big fan of Dragon Ball, I'm pretty sure. All right, here's our spare male. Fit, humble, docile, social. So we'll get that going quick. All right, well, I gave myself a problem because I inadvertently fixed my waterfall to, like, cancel the territory glitch. It looks really nice and pretty now, but now my Pyroraptors hate me, so we're gonna have to do something about this. So the only solution really is to expand the exhibit. And the way we do that is maybe we go over here more. Because I can't really expand any closer to the road without, like, revealing the road. So, like, this is kind of where I have to do it. So I think here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to sedate these four. Boom, 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 boom. And then we're going to tear the fence down once they're sedated here and just expand this way. And we'll go back along this cliff, I guess. With these, like, comically big rocks that are back here. There. That looks a little less weird. Now the rocks aren't towering above everything. And yeah, we'll just have to make that work. It's part of the challenge of this park. What little challenge there is in this game is making your exhibits work within the parameters of whatever it is you're trying to do exactly. So, all right, extension of the Pyroraptor pen complete. Pyroraptor adult male number 2 is in. This is DMAC. So the sloth bear exhibit is complete. They once again have regained the cliff. So I guess I only temporarily reset the territory when I changed the waterfall. And then once they went back over there, it did expand back out again. So they actually have more space than they need currently, but I guess it's fine. It's a solid looking exhibit. So I think this little extension over here doesn't really harm it in any way. I mean, you still get a decent little view if you're doing it on foot. This wrinkle's a little weird, but it's fine. The whole thing's going downhill. I wish the raptors had their own tracks. I hate that they leave three-toe tracks. That bothers me, like, unreasonably so. Alright, I consider this a successful exhibit. Alright, Troodon eggs. I love Ig. Insert Struthiomimus meme from The Land Before Time 2, maybe? Insert that here. More Troodon. Somewhere in here, there's a second dig site. Where is it? There it is. It does scream Guanlong. You are very firm in wanting Guanlong for the Cloud Leopards, and I can appreciate that. We'll see. We'll see. But this is what we're looking at. This is our next exhibit. We got to decorate it more once we get the animals in here and we figure out what works, but combination of some retooled climbing decorations from the workshop with a rock arch that has some bamboo and some dynamic foliage, and then another little climbing platform that I kind of just pushed up against the rock face to make it kind of have a vibe. Is this actually based on the real exhibit? No, because the real exhibit probably should have had this climbing thing in it, but I kind of mixed them up. But I'm not going to move it because I like the look of this, so we're not touching it. And then, yeah, I connected the fences up. That way you have this, like, little walkway here when you're traveling through the zoo that still feels, you know, feels zoo-like, right? You're traveling from one animal exhibit to the next without a break. Like, feels good. Now, we have some sort of disease problem, which was a tainted feeder. E. coli. Yes, let's take care of that. Alright. Alright, so we were still missing a cheetah. Maybe I should double check that that's true. I think I forgot about this basically until now. But I'm pretty sure we were supposed to have 4 juvenile cheetahs / Herrerasauruses, and we only did the 3 is what we got from the last batch. Cheetah cubs have their first checkup. 4 cheetah cubs. Confirmed. Gold and turds. One man's turds is another man's gold, and vice versa, maybe. It all sells for money. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Okay, 4 more eggs. So we're going to have to get rid of...
Please be advised that our weather forecast
Thank you.
predict an
3 of these.
incoming snowstorm.
A snowstorm, eh? Well, that's accurate for the area. Uncommon, but not inaccurate. Alright. Completed genome for Troodon. Let's do those quick before the storm comes in. So, our cloud leopards. So they're kind of like grayish yellow. So I think this is a pretty okay base color. It's a little pinkish on the top, which ain't perfect. And it's a little more stripy than spotty, but there's still a good amount of black mixed in there. And then the male's got a little bit more color going on. I think this is a good start. And we can consider switching these out if we decide to use Troodon for something else later, which we may do. But for now, we'll do this. It's only going to be 2 of these. Oops, I almost forgot to make them humble. I have to feed them their humble pie. I can't forget to do that. There you go. Alright, perfect. Well, you know, we can watch some guys be born here in the snowstorm.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome our Herrerasaurus to
It's not much of a snowstorm. People are running and screaming, and there's like no accumulation. Research body will pay access to juvenile, but may cause disruption in the process. No! Only I can rewild my animals and send them away arbitrarily. Okay. What's your problem? Not enough space. Oh, they're all very upset because there's too many of them. Okay. Well, let's sort out the juveniles. Now, first things first. We should have 4 females. So 4 and 5 are out. Same with 9. So 4, 5, and 9 are gone for sure. Which I think is it, right? 5, 4, and 9. Wait, 6, 8, 7, 9. Okay, let's just make sure before we send these off that there's no problems with the females. Wait. 8, 7, 6. Okay, I just skipped past like 8 or something. Alright. And I guess these are also worse off with kind of like the storm and stuff, but we'll get them cleared out here pretty quickly. Alright. Troodon check. Hey, Crow, welcome to the stream. You're with your family. How dare you? We are your family. You should be here. No. Go spend time with your family. It's important. Okay. These are all identical, essentially, except for the one. So, one male clouded leopard, one female clouded leopard. That is what is in the park. It is actually correctly 2 this time. I literally just checked. Alright. Well, we don't need to see the next part where these cheetahs go away. We now have completely unbranded pandas on our panda restaurant, whose faces disappear as you zoom away. But, you know, what are you going to do? And it is still snowing and people are still screaming. Alright, we're getting rid of these guys, though. They're not fast enough, currently. Juvenile Pop still reads 6, so that's the problem. 5. AI ordering system at Panda Express? Disgusting. Okay, it still says 5. Is it? Yeah, that one's just still not gone. I'm sorry, what did you just do? Did you just roll over? I missed it. Do it again. Do it again. Okay, well, we're close enough here that we should be able to make this work. So let's do this. How about a little bit of tree in the corner? Okay, and now a little bit of water. I do think we did specifically, like, shrink the water down. Kind of, like, as much as we could. Okay, it's perfection. Goddamn snowstorm. What are my Jeeps doing, by the way? Can you guys check on my animals, please? We got some, comedy level driving skill going on here. This guy's really struggling with this cliff. He's really having a time. I don't know how long he's been stuck here doing this. He's at sub 50% health, and he just keeps driving back and forth by this cliff. It's kind of a problem. Let's just send him over there. And maybe we try to smooth this out more, I guess. I don't know what else to do to try to make him work. Don't you come back. What are you doing? Okay, you know what? Here's the solution for you, you silly goose. I'll solve this problem myself. There you go. A sick jump. Now get over there and actually status check my goddamn animals. Do your job. Alright. Shelter can be closed down. Alright. And we should be good and happy. Everybody's good and happy. We got information here finally. Okay, it's just this exhibit that fell behind. Well, that's... Why is that? I guess because that's not straight. I hate that completely. This is disgusting. Hold on. Unacceptable. Maybe a little bit further. Hey. Stop snapping, please, sir. You little shit. Grrr. Okay. We do this. Okay. Kill this. No, my rock. Bring back rock. And we do this. And we do this. Now we kill this. Success. And it only took years off my life. Okay. Great. Pen fixed. Troodon's done. Troodon's in. Get in the pen. Let's put one over here and one over here. Okay. Have we... Undiagnosed ailment. Are you concussed? Oh, God. Now I have to send medical in there. Okay, this guy is still trying to get to the ranger station.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Troodon to the park.
Bro, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, he made it. He did it. All right. A glorious success. Oh, yeah, I need to re-put in this ranger station that I deleted.
Asset transportation in progress.
Hypothermia. It's... How does the Pyroraptor have hypothermia? He's the dipshit that jumped in a frozen lake in the movie. Out of all the animals to get hypothermia, this is the biggest stretch possible in film canon. Alright, you need cover. You actually are prey. I thought you were meat. I think I'm thinking of Proceratosaurus. Or, not Proceratosaurus. Yeah, Proceratosaurus, right? Maybe? I don't know. It's a mystery. Alright, meat feeder in. Alright, let's get this guy sedated for... I assume this is... Yeah, delivered to the facility. We gotta go wrap him in a blanket and feed him some hot cocoa so he gets better. To be fair, it is the baby that's hypothermic. So, like, that actually kind of makes sense. A baby would be more vulnerable to hypothermia. Yeah, that is realistically what would happen if a Pyroraptor jumped into a frozen lake. Dominion is absurd in that regard. I mean, in many regards, but, like, the Pyroraptor jumping into a frozen lake and, like, swimming after people was, like, one of the most ridiculous things we've seen from these movies. Alright, that's taken care of. Troodons, how you guys doing? You're missing cover. The rest of it is great. How about some bamboo? You want some bamboo? I liked it better when I could see the bamboo. There we go. Oh, yeah, we could try to just, like, specifically only put it in where the bamboo, like, shows up. It's kind of annoying, but it's cool when it works. I kind of like plants being there, actually, anyway, so maybe I leave that alone. A little bamboo there. There's some bamboo. So yeah, you can always, like, find where the bamboo is and then, like, undo and just put it in where the bamboo actually spawned. It's usually a good way to do it. Okay, I mean, that looks like something. That looks like an exhibit. I'm okay with that. Maybe a little big for two little lonely leopards, but that's fine. I could have cut it down, but it would be hard to actually cut it down much without, like, ruining the geometry of it.
Commencing asset transit.
It would be so sick if the animals could actually, like, climb shit. Or, you know, engage with enrichment items at all. Yeah, Pyroraptor swimming is fine, to be clear. It's Pyroraptor swimming in a frozen lake and Pyroraptor swimming in a frozen lake to catch people who are on the lake's surface. on top of all that. It's multiple. Both of those layers are pretty silly. I don't have an issue with Pyroraptor swimming specifically. More bamboo would spawn than trees with a decreased density. That's an interesting consideration. So let's do this. Maximum density, 2/3, 1/3, minimum. That seems to be correct. Now, what if we do, like, that? Because it does start spawning bigger trees the more you use it. The only problem is, like, it's still not very dense. The only way you can actually get it to be dense is if you put it in yourself manually, which is kind of annoying. It would be really, what would be really cool, what would be really neat, is if you could have multiple brushes with different plants and you could stack them. Like if I wanted to do bamboo and cherry trees, it would be really cool if I could just do like this. Just like, okay, let's up the intensity. Put down the cherry trees and then put down the bamboo and have them actually combine dynamically. That would be sick. Have like an option to like replace versus like combine. That would be really cool. It only kind of works there a little bit because it catches the edge where the some of the plants are left over from the other brush. All right, next would be the pandas. I'm starting to feel like that's going to have to wait. That's going to be... that was supposed to be the main goal for today, but it's the last thing I'm doing after doing these other two exhibits. So I might leave that for another time. What I could do, what I probably should do first is get in the paths. So I think I'll work on that angle here. All right, I've been fiddling with this part of the park quite a bit. I extended the bridge. We extended it down here so that now it kind of connects over to this landmass better. So the original bridge ended like right in here. And this also helps us cover up some of the terrain imperfections there by extending that out. And then I don't have to make a weird fence to like plug the gap between this platform and the bridge either. And then over here, to get away from having to put in a bunch of fence, I instead put in a bunch of bamboo. Which, like, it should really be bamboo behind a fence, but putting in fence piece by piece on the slope is, like, super tedious, and I'm not doing that. And we gotta flesh this out more. This will be the panda pit that we'll put in later. And, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the progress in today's episode, I think. So, we'll leave it here. Till next time.